This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, more than 200 people spent time handing out poppies today, raising funds for the Returned and Services Association. Low but what play from yonder stage breaks? Forsooth, it's Shakespeare, possibly set for the world stage. And can the Highlanders beat the Blues at Forsyth Bar Stadium in Dunedin tonight? They hope so. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Melissa Barton. A dreary Dunedin day couldn't stop either poppy sellers from volunteering time or the Dunedin public from supporting the Returned and Services Association.
Getting ready to once again, at the going down of the sun, make sure service personnel are remembered again.
Oh, well, it's great because it's part of our history and most of the young people today have had, grandfathers and great-grandfathers or great-uncles who have served overseas in different conflicts of war, and it's part of the recognition of that and the respect that they show.
Returned Captain and Professor John Broughton spent time collecting across the city today and says it's heartening to know younger generations are collecting for Poppy Day and are set to attend dawn service.
It's really great to see, how over the years how the dawn service has become, huge in actual fact, and with the new generations making that acknowledgement.
Highlanders outside back Sam Gilbert was amongst the younger people collecting for Poppy Day and says as he's one of the injured players, he's pleased to be able to serve like this.
We're just out here helping the RSA collect obviously for National Poppy Day, and the RSA is also a match day sponsor for the Blues game this evening as well, so it ties in perfectly, obviously heading into Anzac Day next weekend.
Canterbury-born Gilbert says it's an honour to be able to give back to those who served their country many years ago. RSA choir member Cyril Wilden also spent time at one of the city's Poppy Day tables.
I had 3 uncles that served in the First World War and 2 uncles that served in the Second World War, and I visited where relatives were in Gallipoli.
The Dunedin RSA says approximately 230 people were collecting in the city area today. New Zealand Defence Force staff are due to collect at the rugby tonight, and New Zealand Defence Force cadets are due to be collecting at supermarkets Saturday morning. Lest we forget. In Dunedin, The South Today.
Emergency services were called to a multiple car crash in Invercargill this afternoon. The collision occurred near Kmart on Clyde Street between 4th and Tay Streets. Fire and Emergency New Zealand and police arrived shortly before 2 p.m. Police report one northbound lane was blocked and no injuries were reported. Nearly 100 school pupils performed their best short excerpts from the works of Shakespeare in front of a panel of judges. The pupils gave their all for a chance to go on to national competitions and perhaps even to perform in London.
However you come to know it, answer. Though you untie the winds and let them fight against the churches.
3 witches plus Hamish Macbeth, all from Logan Park High School, perform at the University of Otago Sheila Wynne Shakespeare Festival, held at the Kings and Queens Performing Arts Centre in Dunedin. Closely scrutinised by 2 judges, the performance was just one of many short interpretations of Shakespeare's works, put on by pupils from 7 different Otago high schools. Debbie Verco of the Shakespeare Globe Centre says the pupils' only constraint was to stick to the bard's dialogue.
All of the performances must use Shakespearean text. They can interpret it, and as you would have seen, they can interpret it in many different ways, but they must only use Shakespeare's words.
Despite COVID-19, last year's festival was able to go ahead using video submissions, but Verco says nothing can match the energy and atmosphere of a live performance.
When the doors open and they start coming in, and there's that buzz of excitement and adrenaline, and then curtains open and away we go. I think that's probably the favourite moment, that finally we're here, it's happening, and we're doing it.
A team from King's High School and a team from Columba College were selected to go on to the Nationals in Wellington, with a chance to fly to London to perform at the Globe. In Dunedin, the South Today.
4 people have been arrested and millions of dollars in assets have been seized after a major drug bust in the South. Targeting large-scale commercial cannabis dealers, police have charged 3 men and a woman with drug offences. During the raids, police located a growing operation and recovered large amounts of cannabis with a street value of about $60,000, plus $115,000 in cash and 8 firearms. Police also seized assets worth more than $3 million under the Criminal Proceeds Recovery Act. The Highlanders haven't had the luckiest of seasons, compounded last weekend when they missed out on a Golden Point win. It's been said they have got a mathematical chance of making the playoffs. However, it may seem more like algebra than straight addition.
The Highlanders are hoping luck will be on their side this evening and all of their uninjured players remain healthy.
We've had season-ending injuries that have put us under real pressure now, but it's like anything. There's plenty of guys willing to step up, and we've brought some new players in, and they've added to the environment, and they're probably in the Australian part of the competition, they might get a run.
Tony Brown's thoughts are echoed by co-captain Aaron Smith, who says the Highlanders only really got it right once this season.
Big occasion for us, and just the opportunity to compete. We obviously showed a couple of weeks ago what this team can do, the potential of it. We showed glimpses of it against the Chiefs, but probably looking to put a really balanced performance out there against the Blues at home, our last game of the Aotearoa comp here, and probably put right a bit of what we should have done last week, to be honest too.
Injured players are remaining in the team camp, with many undertaking light training as possible. Smith says the whole team always needs to step up when playing the Blues.
Obviously the hype around the Crusaders game, and the hype around our guys coming through, the youth and the way we're playing, that's sort of why we play as the Highlanders and our team, and this is our city. We want to show our effort's always there. We're going to give it all for 80, and it was 85 plus minutes in the weekend, except it just was a kick either way, and we didn't take our chance and they did. It would have been a hell of a game built up for this week if we'd won, but that's rugby.
The chances of the team reaching the playoffs may be in the realm of advanced mathematics, but Tony Brown says all players need to turn up to the field and put in the mahi if they're to have any chance.
Yeah, they're a good quality rugby team. For us it's around making sure that we know our stuff. I don't think we got that right last week, so we're looking for a major improvement in our intensity and how we go about our work. So if we get our stuff right, we should have be able to play a lot better than we did.
At Eden Park last month, the Blues had a dominant 39-17 win as the Highlanders were well below par. And now the Highlanders host the Blues at Forsyth Bar Stadium just after 7 p.m, Friday, April the 16th. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Still to come on the South Today, we chat with a southern mother grieving for a murdered daughter. And we catch up with a group of senior cyclists on the West Coast, so see you after the break.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Hi, it's Lindsay here from Alex Campbell Menswear. Our 3 stores have got a deal for you. We're going hard, we're going early, so we've gone hard on the prices, 50% off, a great selection. Shorts, look at all these shorts. T-shirts, they're all half price. Check out all those tees along there. What about all these ones down here? Also at a great saving, 50% off. We're going hard, we're going early. Polo shirts, short sleeve shirts, there's such a variety.
Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
It's the Alex Campbell Menswear. Go hard, go early, summer sale. Don't miss this one.
Ah, TV, our favourite babysitter. But it can be tough keeping up with what our tamariki are watching. Luckily, the Broadcasting Standards Authority has made some smart changes to the classification labels. Ooh! Plus changes to the time of day certain rated shows will air, and awesome new parental lock features, meaning your babysitter's job is safe. Find out more at safeviewing.co.nz.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Welcome back. The man who was jailed for life for the rape and murder of Owaka teenager Kylie Smith in 1991 has been declined parole this week. Kylie's mother, Dawn Smith, says she hopes her daughter's killer will stay behind bars for the rest of his life.
I'm Dawn Smith from Owaka. I'm at my daughter's grave, who was 15 years old when she was raped and murdered by Paul Bailey while she was out riding her horse. I'm still coming to terms with the fact that I no longer have a daughter, but the big thing at the moment is to see if we can keep Paul Bailey in prison for as long as possible, because those of us who are dealing with him feel sure that when he does get released, he will commit another crime, and that's another family that's going to be damaged like we have been. It's not only about my daughter, it's also about my husband, who died far too young. Bevan was an excellent dad, and the kids always said to him, or said to me, "Dad will fix it." When Kylie went missing, when she was taken off her horse at gunpoint and taken away in a car, where she was shot in the head 3 times after having been raped, he could not help her, and I think that was the cause of his early death.
Over 160 cyclists are spending this week riding some of the most scenic roads in the country in this year's Tour of New Zealand. The journey is designed as a way for casual riders to take part in an authentic cycling tour and raise funds along the way.
Described as an adventure of a lifetime, the Tour of New Zealand started last Saturday in Glenorchy, and according to rider David Tokios, by the time they'd reached Greymouth, the cyclists had experienced all sorts of weather while slogging up the road.
First day we got nice and wet and it was a really hilly day. Second day we've had some beautiful weather going up over the Crown Range to Wanaka. Then was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Was cancelled. We just had really horrid weather. But today has been a stunner day. We were able to ride from Ross to Greymouth, and it was just a beautiful day. We could see the mountains and all the snow up in the mountains, just absolutely gorgeous.
Started in 2012 and held every 2 years, the 8-day cycle trip is not so much a race as a challenge for everyday cyclists, with an average day featuring only about 3 hours in the saddle. The event also encourages riders to raise funds for their chosen health charity.
All the riders just go out to their friends and say, will you sponsor me? I'm running the Tour of New Zealand, and $1.5 million has been raised for Child Cancer and Heart Foundation, Akina, for bikes in schools, and Tear Fund, an incredible effort from the cyclists. We just do the organisation, we put the whole race together, but the cyclists raise the money.
We've got a dozen cyclists pedalling really hard to raise money for our charity. We support patients with neuroendocrine cancer. People haven't heard of it, but it's relatively common. 1 Kiwi a day gets diagnosed, and we are using the money we raise to bring a treatment to New Zealand that the Aussies have had for 20 years, and we don't want to be that far behind.
When they're not cycling on their journey northwards, the riders are ferried to the next stage by coach and rail. This year's event includes about 40 support crew who are looking after 160 cyclists from across the country.
I work for WSP, a civil engineer. My main job is maintaining the Auckland Harbour Bridge, so taking a week out from work to support the Heart Foundation on this awesome ride, great event.
We've got a team of 60 Heart Foundation riders that are riding for the Heart Foundation. So Teresa and I, my colleague, we greet them all here at the finish line each day, and we've got soup for them, sustenance, snacks, all heart healthy, just to get them across that finish line.
After a train journey back across the Alps and some cycling legs in North Canterbury and Marlborough, the tour is set to conclude in Wellington tomorrow. In Greymouth, the South Today.
After the break on the South Today, we have rugby chat with Paul Dwyer ahead of the first Speight's Challenge Shield match of the year, and we take a look at your weekend's weather for you. So see you after the break.
Hi, it's Lindsay here from Alex Campbell Menswear. Our 3 stores have got a deal for you. We're going hard, we're going early, so we've gone hard on the prices, 50% off, a great selection. Shorts, look at all these shorts. T-shirts, they're all half price. Check out all those tees along there. What about all these ones down here? Also at a great saving, 50% off. We're going hard, we're going early. Polo shirts, short sleeve shirts, there's such a variety.
Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
It's the Alex Campbell Menswear. Go hard, go early, summer sale. Don't miss this one.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Be sure to tune in to Football Chat every week, where we chat about local football fixtures, results and everything else that's happening in the local game.
Thanks for staying with us. In this edition of Rugby Chat, we talk with the members of the Tairi and Dunedin rugby clubs. The two teams will face off tomorrow for the first Speight's Challenge match of the year.
Today I've got, because these two teams are playing each other on Saturday for the first, I think it's the first Speight's Challenge Shield game of the year. I've got Tane Runga from Tairi, welcome along Tane, and I've got Cam Burrows, who by the way is the chairman of the Dunedin Rugby Club, and also he was the captain on Saturday, so we'll talk to him about that shortly. So mate, Tane, we'll start with you. So this is for the Speight's Challenge Shield, because if you hold the Challenge Shield, if you've got it at the end of the year, it's a pretty good night out at Speight's.
Yeah, real good.
Did you have a really good time? Do you remember it last time?
Yeah, we shared it for the whole club.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
so
pretty cool.
To everyone.
Oh, that's a good idea. So the prize went to the whole club.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Yeah. So mate, Challenge Shield. Now I'm just trying to think. So I think you held it for most of last year, didn't you? Who did you win it off?
I think it might have been GI. I'm not too sure.
I think that makes it. That sounds right.
Yeah.
So you would have played them early in the season.
We played them at their home.
Yeah, because it's a home game thing. And then you held it right through last season.
Right till now. Yeah.
So that's it. That's probably, if I look, that'll probably be the biggest that anybody's ever held the Challenge Shield for. So that Mike Casey he'll be beaming. He'll be beaming with that, is he? So Cam, I'll bring you in. So look, it's a pretty unusual. How old are you now?
25.
Shit, you look a lot older. So you're the chairman of a rugby club at 24. Well, 24 because this is your second year, is it?
Yeah, second year.
How did they suck you into that?
Well, unfortunately, Piper got put on the board, and
Otago
I was the one that they said, look, we'll invest in you and give it a crack. So, yeah, she certainly has its moments dealing with the old brigade and trying to do what's best for the players. But it's
so it's got to be big. So you're still playing rugby, and obviously you were captain on Saturday. And I was surprised you even got through the first 15 minutes. I thought your tackle count in the first 15 minutes was pretty high. You're trying to tell me you had the highest tackle count of the game?
In the first half, probably was. Second half, lungs start burning a bit more, and put my hand up for a sub after about 15 in the second half. But
so my question is, mate. So I'm hearing rumours. So you had this great performance, even though you lost by 1 million. You've topped the tackle count, and apparently you've been dumped this week.
Yeah, I was looking at the team sheets last night, and I've put myself into play twos this week. So yeah, not sure what's going on there. I have to ask Steve for some feedback tomorrow night at training. But
unbelievable. Unbelievable. And that's it for Rugby Chat this week, and we'll be back with you again soon.
And you can watch the full interview online at odt.co.nz. And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South today. More than 200 people spent time handing out poppies today, raising funds for the Returned and Services Association. Low but what play from yonder stage breaks for Sir? It's Shakespeare, possibly set for the world stage. And the Highlanders think they can beat the Blues at Forsyth Bar Stadium in Dunedin tonight. Kick-off is about 7 p.m. And now look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. Welcome, Barry. What have you got for us?
Hello, Melissa. Well, further to the Scanth story, which has been running for the last couple of days, of course, and the convicted killer's death, of course, has forced a review of how courts communicate with prisons. So there was controversy about that, and we've had a response from the courts today about that. So. That's a development in that story. Good news for Queenstown. The long mooted arterial route for Queenstown has been given the green light for fast-tracked consent, with work expected to start on that multi-million-dollar project before the end of the year. So that's a positive news for getting out and about in Queenstown. We have a nice wee feature in the paper tomorrow about refugees, and of course their arrival in the city was the start of a new and safe life. Our reporter Daisy Hudson has looked at how the city's designation as a refugee resettlement centre 5 years ago has affected the new residents. So we've talked to them and got their stories about how they've settled into the new city. So
because 5 years is a decent amount of time just to see how they've started.
Oh,
to
exactly,
fit in.
exactly.
Great.
So we get a good feel to how they've acclimatised, as it were. You mentioned the Highlanders playing with the Blues. Well, of course they are, and yes, we are going to win. So we'll have all the analysis and along with all the previews of weekend sports events in the paper tomorrow. Of course, the mix is another package we have, our feature section in the paper tomorrow, so look out for that, some good reading in there.
Wonderful. So some positivity going forwards to the Highlanders, and now it's time for a look at the weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Beginning with the southern view, making tracks in Dunedin's Octagon. Looking at the situation, a strong westerly airflow over southern districts will gradually ease during the weekend. And now travelling to the northwest of the South Island, it's an overcast sort of day here with light to moderate winds. Greymouth and Westport both reaching 15 degrees. Across to the north of the island, mainly fine weather with sun and 16 degrees for both Nelson and Blenheim. Blenheim will also have a bit of cloud. Across to Canterbury, cooler temperatures as we head further south. Kaikoura and Christchurch will both see scattered showers, with Kaikoura reaching 13 degrees and Christchurch 12. Ashburton escapes the rain but can expect an overcast day with 12 degrees. Moving to the southern towns, an overcast day with a high of 14 degrees for everyone in this region. Balclutha, the Catlins and Lunsden will see fresh westerlies, while Gore can brace for strong westerly winds. And it's similar in central, moderate westerlies with fine weather for most across this area. Wanaka, Queenstown and Alexandra are due for 15 degrees. Te Anau will see strong westerlies with showers and 14 degrees, so it's a good day for indoors. To the northern towns, on the coast you're in for light winds and fine weather, with Timaru on 16 degrees and Oamaru 15. Heading further inland, expect moderate westerlies with fine weather and 16 degrees for both Twizel and Damarama. In Dunedin, mostly fine tonight with southwesterlies and an overnight low of 7. Fine and sunny tomorrow with moderate westerlies, cool temperatures. High cloud increasing late in the day, a high of 15 and a low of 5. And it's fine on Sunday with high cloud and moderate northwesterlies. Pleasant temperatures for the day, a period of cooler southwesterlies later in the night might bring a few brief showers. You're looking at a high of 17 and a low of 9. And in Invercargill, mostly cloudy tonight with an overnight low of 9. Cloudy tomorrow with strong cool westerlies, showers developing later in the afternoon, a high of 14 and a low of 5. And showers clearing on Sunday with sunny periods increasing and fresh to strong westerly winds decreasing, a high of 15 and a low of 9. And that's all from the South Today team for this Friday and in fact the week. For the latest news from the southern region, head to odt.co.nz and follow Channel 39 on Facebook and YouTube. Have a great evening. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.